The receiver I'm listening to you all on is an Eddystone 888A, and the microphone is an ACOS crystal microphone. Okay, let's go round to Laurie and see if Laurie's copying us on AM, and more importantly, whether we're copying Laurie on AM. I don't know whether he's going to be on the AT5 or on the 204, but round to you, Laurie. G4FAA in the group, G0 UKN.
I can give a report on that one. Okay, Laurie, this is M0JCF Mark. Laurie, you sounded absolutely terrible, mate, to me. I don't know about anyone else. You're in my noise floor, my S9 noise floor on AM, and I knew it was you, but it just sounded like a buzz, a modulated high frequency buzz. That's all I got from you. G4FAA M0JCF. Okay, that was intelligible, but I wouldn't like to listen to it for too long. Back to you.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, I'm not too sure. In fact, Mark, if you're still copying, I'm going to... carry it back on, and I counted 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you copy?
Yeah, when you counted 1, 2, 3, 4, carrier back on, a lot more intelligence. Whatever you did prior to that, it was totally unintelligible. Back to you.
Yeah, Roger. Okay, I did wonder whether the carrier pouch was properly done across it full, but it clearly is if you didn't get anything at all when I switched carrier off. Okay, that's fine. Let's finish my turn on the 204. Next time I'll come up on the 85, over.
Yeah, Roger. Okay, I'll pass back to Guy now as net controller. But Guy, I don't know if you heard any of that. He's going back to the AT5 in a minute, but he'll explain when he comes up what was happening, unless, of course, people were hearing him. G0 UKN M0JCF in the group.
Yeah, M0JCF, G0 UKN in the group. Yes, I was copying him sort of for the second half of the over. I was copying you, Laurie. Not strong, but I could have held a QSO with you. When you first came up, I was very confused because all I was hearing, as Mark so eloquently put it, was a modulated buzz. And then I heard what sounded like single sideband, and I switched it to SSB, and I was hearing you. And then when you went 1, 2, 3, 4, and then to sort of carry it back on, I was copying you on AM. So you're moving in the right direction, right? I'm going to do some experimenting now. So I'm at the moment on one particular code, ACOS microphone, which is from a thing called a Pi record maker, and probably dates to the mid-50s. Right, I'm going to disconnect that microphone now. 1 second. And now this is a different ACOS microphone. This is one from I think a reel-to-reel tape recorder of the mid-60s. So I'm interested in what the difference is really. So I'll pass it back round to Dave, G6NRH. And we'll go round the block again. Round to you, Dave. G6NRH in the group. G0 UKN.
G0 UKN, G6NRH returning. Yeah, it sounds slightly softer. I suppose like mine, a bit woolly, but the first microphone is 50 times better. Really lovely. It sounds like you're next door. I was just about to go around and turf you out, but what the hell are you doing here? But anyway, no, it sounds really good. And yeah, but the second mic, it's all audible. You can still hear it, but it seems much softer. They put woolly, that's all. So yeah. And as for Laurie, when you first started, I could hear everything you were saying. It was slightly distorted, so you're slightly off frequency. And then when you started counting down, it seemed to come up, and then but it's definitely better when you've inserted the carrier. But other than that, and Mark, God, your audio is fantastic. Really lovely sound. It's really it is like the old AM receiver. I'm listening. You know it's not. But yeah, great. Will that pass it back to you, Guy, and see what you think of mine? G0 UKM G6 NRH in the group.
Break.
Yeah, go ahead, the break.
Mike 0 Sierra Juliet Whiskey.
Yeah, evening to you, Sam. Late on parade, but I understand why, so no problem at all. M0SJW, G0 UKN. So on frequency, you've got NRH, JCF, FAA, and FDP. Sorry, the order's wrong there. FDP, then. Sorry, which is the order? Let's go back up. I'm actually over here, and the list is over there. So the order is me, NRH, JCF, FDP, FAA, and then I'll put you in at the end after G4 FAA, Sam. So nice to hear you. And I'll pass it. I'm back on microphone number 1, by the way, now, because it's the one that's more comfortable to use and the lead is longer. I'll pass it round to Mark, as I know he's got limited time available. Round to you, Mark. M0JCF in the group, G0UKN.
Yeah, G0UKN, M0JCF. Thanks for that, Guy. I preferred the second microphone. The second one for audio quality was a lot nicer, a lot nicer to listen to. Everyone's audio, barring Laurie, is absolutely superb, as you would expect. You'll see it on the video anyway. One thing I did have to do was I had to delete some videos and that was already in the machine, or it's an old iPod, and I'd run out of storage space because the other net went on, the LSB net went on so long, and run out of space. So I freed up some space because I wanted to capture some of this AM so that you can all be subjective of your own signals. Coming into my radio, of course, I'm a Kenwood fan. I know some of you aren't, but yeah, that's the story. Everyone's 5 and 9 plus 10. Well, Laurie's plus 5. Everyone else is plus 10. I think Sam is about plus 40. Going on past performance, he's probably higher than that. So I'll hand it round to Frank. G0FDP M0JCF.
M0JCF, G0FDP, yep, okay there, Mark, and well, I don't really mind which mic that Guy was using, but I think his normal.
I don't think, having said that, I don't think Frank's audio is as good as other audio.
It sounds like armchair copy to me rather than SSB copy, but it's no problem at all there. And the same with yourself there, Mark. Your audio is nice and clear with the AM as well. And as for Laurie, well, when he first came up, I knew he was there, but it didn't sound correctly right. But then when he sort of did something differently and changed something around, well, I could hear him there, but it wasn't perfect AM to me, what I would have said to everybody. But there we are, that's how it goes. And now, if I do pass it round to Laurie, wonder whether he can hear me, and if not, perhaps Guy will tell him. G4 Fox Alpha Alpha, G0 FDP. So it's you, Laurie.
Over to you, Laurie. You see, I can hear Laurie, I can hear what he's saying, but I wouldn't like to listen to that all night. Right, okay, Laurie, Mark M0JCF just giving you a report on that. When you turned it down, well, first off, it doesn't sound good anyway. To me, that is. You're still the level's quite scratchy to me. And when you turn the mic gain down, you vanished. And when you said then there's the mic gain back up, you was back as you were beforehand. Once again, I've captured it on video, and you'll be able to make your own judgment on that. I'm just checking. Yeah, it's still recording. You'll be able to make your own judgment that when you see the video. So back to you there, Laurie. G4FAA M0JCF. Right, I didn't quite catch what you said there. I know you said basically the mic gain was back up and inserted carrier, but I didn't catch the very last few words. Back to you. No, sorry, Laurie. That over. I knew you was there, but I didn't hear a word of it, old man. Just didn't hear a word of it. Sorry about that. G4FAA M0JCF. Okay, yeah, sorry, Laurie. I know you're speaking, mate, but I just can't get any intelligible sort of information from that over. I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll pass it around because people like Sam might have been hearing you a bit better. So I know Sam's been sitting on the side there, and Guy, if you don't mind me passing it to Sam, and maybe he can give some insight there. M0 SJW, M0 JCF.
Yeah, M0 JCF. M0 SJW. With a very different setup tonight. I hope I'm sounding okay. I'm on the FT857, but it is very, very hacked, to use a term of phrase. I'm running a software-defined radio called a Lime SDR, USB. Computer's doing all the hard work, and I'm injecting the IF for transmit, and I'm tapping the IF on receive. So the computer is actually generating my AM via the Lime SDR board. So I will just pass it back to. I'll pass it back to Guy quick. Just check that you're hearing me okay. I don't need to make any tweaks, and then I'll continue my over. G0UKN M0 SJW.
Yeah, sounds fantastic. BBC quality. Sam, back to you.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Guy. I'm using an instrument mic, just on a boom on the desk, or on a gooseneck rather on the desk. A little bit of processing, nothing too severe. Little multi-band compression, and I'm probably a little bit wider, kind of plus or minus 4K. So that's probably helping make it sound a little more broadcast. Okay, just some comments for Laurie. I was looking at your signal on the waterfall, and I can't see any upper sideband component to your transmission. The carrier's there, and the lower sideband's there, but there's no upper sideband component at all, according to the waterfall. Everyone else is very symmetrical, so I'm not sure if that's something that you can look at. I don't know the 204. I think you said you were on a 204. Yeah, perhaps that offers you some insight as to why some of us are struggling to copy. I was copying you fine, but I was swapping back to LSB to copy you. So everyone was big signals. Everyone's 5.9 plus, including Laurie. But having to grab Laurie on lower sideband. Okay, I think it goes back to the top now. Good to hear everyone. Thanks, Guy, for running it again. G0UKN M0SJW. Sorry I was late.
Yeah, M0SJW, G0UKN. Okay, fine business. Okay, so we've got mixed reports on the microphone. I'm still on my original microphone at the moment. But interesting on your setup, Sam. It sounds really, really good to my ears. It sounds smooth. It sounds well modulated. So it's doing its thing. Most definitely doing its thing. I'm at the opposite end of the scale here. I'm on the KW Vanguard and receiving you on the Eddystone 888A. So the opposite end of the evolutionary scale. I've got a little bit of breakthrough of audio this evening on the Eddystone receiver. Even though the thing's being muted, I can sort of just hear a burble of myself in the loudspeaker of the receiver. I don't think it'll be getting back around the microphone at all, but it's disconcerting from my ears. So if I have the audio up too high, I have to turn the AF gain down on receive. It could be getting in anywhere into the path. So. I'm not particularly concerned. I just haven't noticed it before, which is a little bit odd. There you go. Okay. Right, yeah, Laurie, I didn't copy much at all from you on the last over. What I could hear, funny enough, like Sam, I actually switched to sideband but I'm not sure which sideband. Obviously, I haven't got a waterfall. But if you're using the 204, Sam, that makes perfect sense on a 204 because it's injected carrier. So basically it's unbalancing the balance modulator to re-inject some carrier, but it still goes through the 2.4 kilohertz mechanical filter. So it will still be a single sideband. And my gut feel on what Laurie, what's happening is that the carrier crystal maybe not quite. What tends to happen on the old KWs is the carrier crystals drift a little bit in one direction and the mechanical filters drift a little bit in the other direction. And if the carrier crystal isn't spot on, it makes using carrier inserted AM very, very difficult, and it just doesn't tend to sound nice. My Vespa's like that. The Vespa sounds really sucks on AM. My Viceroy doesn't sound too bad on AM, but it doesn't have 160 meters. But I know that my Vespa sort of really just sounds pants on AM. For that reason. Okay, which is why I stick to good old-fashioned plate and screen modulated AM where I can help it. Right, I will pass it back round to Dave. Dave, I think you doubled with Mark when you came up and gave some comments from Laurie, and from my point of view, Mark won hands down. So I'll pass it back round to you, Dave. We'll go once more round, but yeah. I think it was Mark mentioned the time, and yeah, we've been on here a wee while now, so we'll probably do once or twice round and then call it a night. So round to you, Dave. G6NRH in the group, G0UKN.
G0UKN, G6NRH in the group, yeah. Good evening, Mark, and I say your signal is fantastic, really good. Love what you've done. With the 857 and yeah, the FT857. I've got something, but not quite. I'm using the IC7300 as the receiver, and I'm using a transmitter of the 857D. So, and it seems to work. I've got a hell of a lot of ground noise here. S9 if I use the end-fed half-wave 80 meter antenna. It seems to pick everything up. So I'm using the other, which is the Hustler 6-band BTV, which seems to do the trick, but trouble is it's not that. But basically just use that as a receiving antenna, and it seems to work. Ho-hum. Yeah, but everybody's a fantastic signal. Hopefully Laurie can sort his out. He's lost the using a Heritage microphone, which is a copy of the Shaw microphone, like the brilliant chrome and everything else, which I usually use for 2 meters. But I thought what I'd do is I'd give it a try on 160 and see how it goes, and it seems to be working. But everybody is like an armchair copy, as usual. So that I'll quickly pass it over to Mark, and we'll see how it goes. Over to you, Mark. M0J G6NRH, should it be?
Yeah, G6NRH M0JCF. Coming back for it, I'll make this my final. Sam, absolutely stunning audio quality. That's where I'm going to give it marks out of 10. Stunning. In all seriousness, it does sound absolutely superb, and you can tell that there's some nice things happening there. You're 5 and 9 plus 30 plus 40 to me on AM, as I suspected you would be, but the audio is particularly nice, very, very clean, and you know, we always joke about BBC quality, broadcast quality, and I would say that, you know, that's as good as it gets on them AM stations, if not better. You know, yeah, it's almost like you're using up too much bandwidth, and the audio quality is that good. Audio quality from Guy is what we'd expect using old gear. It's really, really nice quality. Be nice if we could muck about with microphones again and see if we could up the ante on that, but I don't think you'll match Sam. Dave, NRH, a great audio, right on top of me. It's to be expected. Frank, FDP, audio not as good, old chap, not as good as the others. It's better than Laurie. A lot better than Laurie, not as good as Dave and Guy, and no one is as good as Sam's, and that's how much I'm going to big it up for tonight, chaps. I've got about an hour and a half worth of video. I can trim a little bit off where I was switching over rigs myself, and then we lose a little bit. I think it was on one of Frank's overs. We do lose a little bit there where I had to quickly delete some storage, but yeah, we've been at it, just look at it, we've been over an hour and a half now, and which is no bad thing at all, and if I could go on longer I would, but I'm going to call it a day anyway, and no doubt I'll catch you all. Now I think the club is open, isn't it, for a hybrid session as M0 Mike Charlie Victor, what's his name? Oh, I hate that. I can remember call signs, not names. I can remember names, not call signs. I must be getting old. But anyway, he just sent out the QUA, didn't he? Basically, I'm not sure if I'll be at the club Thursday. I will try and get there, actually. It would be nice to walk in, but we'll see how that one goes. Otherwise, I'll catch up with you soon. I'll edit down the videos tonight. I'll bung them online probably overnight, because they're going to take a little while to upload to YouTube. It's notoriously slow, and this is going to be a big chunk of data. And what I'll do is tomorrow morning I'll get on the Yahoo group email thing. I'll put out the link, and if anyone wants to then spread it around the WhatsApp or whatever, you know, however you want to do it, that'll be up to you. But everyone who's on this net tonight, I'm sure, has got a vested interest in having a look. I'm not expecting subscribers or anything like that. My YouTube isn't monetized or anything like that. It's there purely as storage for me, and as a byproduct, other people can get to see those videos. So I'll hand it round to Frank. I may not be here for any goodbye, so I'll say it now. Best 73s to everyone. Thanks again, Guy, for running this gig, and it was actually a really nice gig for me, because I've got to use a new toy, and it's been a nice long one with lots and lots of really interesting chat. Not that we don't have interesting chat, but tonight it was particularly interesting. So my ramble and waffle over. Best 73 to everyone, and I will hand it over to Frank now. Here, G0FDP M0JCF in the Cray Valley, first Monday of the month, top band net.
Yeah, Thank you very much, Mark. M0JCF from G0FDP and the on 160 Monday morning and evening net. Yep, okay, all noted there. And saying that my audio is not quite so good on AM as well, sound is absolutely beautiful audio. So I'll sit back here and listen to that audio from you on AM all night. It's so clear, so sweet, and it's perfect, as Mark was saying. It's brilliant, you know, lovely audio. It sounds better than the actual radio when you put it on AM. So very good audio there on yours, Sam. Laurie was a bit difficult to start to hear, but never mind about that. Dave, yours is, I wouldn't say armchair copy, but no problem in copying you on AM. Not quite as sharp and as brisk as the rest of us, but there we are, that's how it seems to work out. And guys, there's no problem either, even on the main microphone he uses, or the second one. But the first one I preferred rather than the second mic on that one. But another word, if we pass it over to Sam, because Sam might be able to hear Laurie better than I can, because Laurie is not a very brilliant signal with me at all. So hopping over to Sam, okay, Guy, rather than to Laurie, because Sam can hear me, and he's got a beautiful audio on his one. Sam, M0SGJ, over to you, G0FDP.
Yeah, G0FDP, M0SJW. Okay, happy to take one, and then I'll pass to Laurie. I think you can hear me fine. I'll keep it fairly brief. We're starting to wrap things up anyway. I'm off on scout camp this week, so I'm just trying to get some last minute bits done before I go. Unfortunately, about an absolute ton of stuff I had listed on eBay has been bought by two different buyers, but by a few separate listings, totaling over £2,000. So I'm now in a mad rush to get all that sorted, to get it out on time. Both of them contacted me and said, "Oh, I really need it in a rush." It's all like business radio, what would have been referred to as PMR, but now tends to get referred to as business radio, Motorola gear. So yeah, I'm trying to get all that boxed up as well as packed for camp, and I'm off in the morning. So I'm going to say good night, 7-3. Thank you all for the lovely audio reports. Definitely sounds like the new setup's working. I do need to make it more permanent, because at the moment the tap onto the PCB is very, very temporary. I had to remove a capacitor about the size of a full stop. It was tiny. It's not documented at all, this process. I couldn't find anyone who'd done it previously. So I dare say that someone's tried, but yeah, I couldn't find it documented. So it's just a case of following schematics and block diagrams and trying to work out a suitable point to inject the 68.33 megs IF. Okay, look, I will pass to Laurie, because I think he hasn't had a turn this round. 7-3's all. Thanks again to Guy. G4FAA M0SJW. Much better from me, from SJW. Yeah, okay, you're about 5 over 9. Audio is good, nice and clear. You're bang on frequency according to the spectrum and waterfall on the equipment I'm using. So yeah, all good, and certainly a lot better than the struggles we were having on the 204. Back to you.
Yeah, Roger, Sam. Yeah, from Golf 4 Foxtrot Alpha. Well, 20 minutes to yourself. So many thanks for tonight.
Guy, Laurie has thanked you and has passed it back to you from SJW.
Yeah, M0SJW, G0UKN. Yeah, I'm not copying Laurie. I wonder if he's gone over to the AT5 with the reduced power that has, but they always do sound nice. I know he's there, but he's right on the noise floor. It's just the fact that I've got a huge amount of noise, and I've tried flicking to the receiver antenna, and it made very little difference. I don't know if you can find out, Sam, whether he's now running the code R85. Back to you.
Yeah, that's a Roger. Yeah, he was on the 85. He made the switch just with 8 watts. Back to you. Yeah, back to you, Guy. G0UKN, M0SJW.
Yeah, I didn't know if Laurie was going to pick it up from G0UKN. Yeah, it's just, I never have a good path with Laurie for some reason, and I knew somebody was there, but it wasn't good enough to copy. Okay, well, I guess Mark has now left us. If not, 7-3 to you, Mark, and look forward to hearing the video or seeing the video on YouTube. Sam, amazing, a really good, really amazing setup. So you've got to, as you say, make that more permanent now, and you'll have an AM system to be reckoned with. You ought to perhaps come up on a Saturday morning when you're not at scout camp, and maybe later in the year when propagation improves. Come up and shot the arse off of some of the guys on the VMARS net, because that really does sound. It sounds like a broadcast transmitter. It really does. No, it's all good stuff. Okay, well, I'm gonna call it a night as well, and nice to hear everybody. And I'll pass it around to Dave, who I think's still there, and Frank is still there. And we'll see if Mark's still around, but he may have disappeared now. But Laurie, apologies, I can't hear you on the AT5. Just a combination of propagation, and we just always have problems between us. But can't be helped. Okay, I'll pass it back round to Dave, and we'll call it quits. But many thanks those who came up on the net, and been a good evening. Round to you, Dave. G6NRH in the group, G0UKN.
G0UKN, G6NRH in the group. Yeah, all copies, fair enough. Guy, yeah. So thanks for being in the chair this evening. It's been a great evening, as usual. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's nice to hear everybody. And I did hear you, Laurie, in the last over. You was like 5 and 9, a lot better on that one, even on 8 watts. So it seems strange that Guy can't pick you up, but it's a lovely signal. And Sam, what can I say? Excellent work, mate. And good luck for the scout outing. It brings me back, I think I used to go scouting. Canoeing with a canvas flat-full canoe, that was fun. 2-man canoe, weighed a ton, I think I was about 15 at the time. God, it nearly killed me. Yeah, but anyway, have good time, mate, and enjoy yourself. And with that, I'll say 7-3 to everybody. It's been a pleasure, and hopefully catch you further, as they say, and hopefully meet you on Thursday, because I should be going to the club on Thursday evening. With that, I'll pass it over to you, Frank, and hopefully if I don't see you on Thursday, I'll most probably speak to you on Sunday. G0, Foxtrot Delta, Half Golf 6 November, Romeo Hotel, going to QRT.
Yep, okay there, Dave. G6NRH, G0FTP, yeah, okay, Dave. It wasn't quite so strong that time, but no problem at all to hear what you were saying. And well done, Mark there. Well, good overs and nice loud overs and clear as well. And Sam, beautiful audio. That's stuff like I could sit and listen to that all day long. It's very clear audio, lovely setup as well there. And a shame about Lloyd, but there we are. I know he's there. how it seems to go, but no problem with that. Anyway, on Thursday this week, yes, the club should be open, or will be open, but it starts at 7:30 this coming Thursday, and 7:30 to 9:30, I believe it is. The tea kitchen will be closed, no tea kitchen open, no shack open either, nobody can go in there. Everything's going to be done in the hall. I think what we're going to do, as Dave G4BUO was saying, that we're going to put the urn in the hall and work your cups of tea from there. So we've got to do it yourself sort of thing, and make sure that you keep yourself separate from one another and don't sort of contaminate any of this stuff. So I don't know what we're going to do after, once the cups have been used. They're going to be cleaned or washed or whatever the case may be, but we'll find out on Thursday. And I'm going to make sure that I should be okay when I get there for Thursday, because I'm going to take one of these tests and make sure that I'm still on the negative side, just to make sure that I haven't got nothing with me. Right, with that, if you're still listening, Sam, over to you. M0SJW from GCFTV.
From M0SJW. Okay, yeah, I'm still on the side. I haven't really got any more to add. I probably won't see you at the club, obviously, because I'll be on camp, so I hope that all goes fantastically well and everybody gets their tea and coffee one way or another. Thanks again, Guy, for running, and I think it's just Laurie to give his finals. So Golf 4 Fox Alpha Alpha on the 85 now from M0. Nothing heard from. Yeah, I'm not hearing Laurie at all. No carrier, no nothing. So I'll pass it back to you, Guy. G0UKN, M0SJW.
M0SJW, G0UKN. Yeah, I don't know if you've cleared Laurie, but nothing heard from you that side from my point of view as well. I knew you were there previously, but been a good evening. Yeah, been good fun, and I do enjoy using this old KW Vanguard and giving it some use on top band. And I don't know, there's just something really freaky about using what is now coming up to a 63-year-old transmitter. And it just does its thing, you know, I'm not driving it too hard, and we're running just literally on the legal limit, 32 watts PEP, and it seems to pretty much fully modulate, so really happy with it. Okay, 7-3's all. Nice to hear you all. See some of you on Thursday, and have a very good rest of your Monday evening. This is G0UKN, wishing perhaps our shortwave listeners a good evening as well, and speak to you all later from G0UKN.
The 73 Guy from G053.